Welcome to the Lantern Light Podcast. Lantern Light is an artist collective, publication, and promotional platform focused on shedding light on the talented artists of our hometown of New Orleans, Louisiana, and beyond. Follow us at lanternlightinc.com for updates on future podcasts, live recording sessions, and more. I'm your host, Kyle Erosh, and today we have Wonder Kid in the studio to talk about their new single, No Shape, among other things. I hope you guys enjoy it. All right, guys, so I have Ryan and Nathan.
Hey. Hello.
From Wonder Kid in the studio today. You guys have been doing some cool stuff lately here in the greater New Orleans area.
Greater New Orleans area, the Tri-Parish area.
Are you guys from Hammond, both of you?
We live there now.
Yeah. I'm not originally from Hammond, but I've went to college there, and I've lived there for a long time now. I graduated living downtown now.
Cool. Nice. So you guys just dropped a new single.
Yeah, No Shape.
Yes, sir.
Put that out on the 15th.
Hell yeah, which this will release after that it comes out, but this is recorded right before that.
In the future, it will be out.
In the future, in the past.
So tomorrow, but it'll already be out by this.
So what do you guys, what's, for this new song, what's a little bit different this time around than, I guess, Over, your 2018 release, which I'm a big fan of?
So I think it's a much more mature band. Over was a lot of material that we had written a good bit before it was recorded, and then we, kind of took our time with getting it out. So that music had been around for a while by the time it went out, and whereas this is kind of reflective of what we're doing right now. We have a big chunk of material that all kind of fits this vibe that we're really, really into. So we're really excited to get this out and kind of have a recorded version of what's going on right now. Because, I think everyone that comes to our shows sees what we're doing, but for everybody that can't make it,
How many new songs are on the set that you guys are playing right now that aren't from the last record?
Actually, I think the set list we made for the tour we're about to go on starting on the 19th. I think only 2 of the songs are from Over.
Yeah, and we've definitely played sets recently that have been almost exclusively new material.
Okay, so you guys have this new single, obviously, but also you have a bunch already ready to go.
Pretty good chunk on deck.
Real quick, so tour 19th, how long were you going?
We're doing 9 days out. We're going through Florida, so we're doing Pensacola, Gainesville, Orlando, and Jacksonville, and then 2 days in Georgia, Valdosta, and then seeing what's up the other day, and then Birmingham, Nashville, and Memphis.
Have you guys done any extended runs before as a band?
No, this is our first one. We did a little weekender a couple months back, and that was the first thing, but this is the first big jog out.
Hell yeah. Are you guys renting a vehicle, or do you have a band van?
We have a land yacht that Nathan owns a land yacht that's pretty nice, 15 passenger.
Nice.
It's a really sick dark green, almost black in the right light though.
Yeah,
Did you name it?
It's the land yacht.
The land yacht.
Yeah,
Land yacht.
Yeah, we joke about it being a ship.
SS land yacht.
Yeah, it's fun.
Hell yeah. That's awesome, man.
Drives like a boat.
Yeah.
Awesome. So is everyone in the band now, as you said, this new single is a little bit more representative of what's going on with the band now, and that the material that you guys had on the 2018 release is obviously was kicking around for a while before that had come out. But is everybody that's in the band now and that was even on Over, are these all original members? Have you guys all been a band? Let's take me a little bit through the inception of Wonder Kid.
Yeah, so Wonder Kid actually started way, way back, years and years ago, maybe 2015. And it was me and a couple other dudes, and we just kind of messed around for a couple years and didn't really do much of anything. And then Ryan joined in the beginning of 2017. And that's when we kind of kicked everything up, started playing a bunch of shows, started getting music ready. And then that lineup just didn't really work out. And it kind of fizzled out. And then we added Max first and then Adrian. And I've played music with Adrian for a decade now. So that was a really easy, no-brainer decision. And got them involved. And then we put Over out. And some of that music was a holdover from the previous lineup. And then some of it was new. Whereas now we're just doing all stuff. And those guys that were kind of new into the band at that point, whereas now everyone's really established in their roles and can get their voice out the way it needs to be. So this is really representative of this group of people, you know.
Absolutely. And also, like, this band, I think we've been able to, like, crank out some, like, newer material just because, like, once when we're in writing mode, it, like, in the moment it seems like it takes forever, but really we put together a few songs pretty fast. Like, me and Nathan usually bring a skeleton. That skeleton sometimes gets torn down and then rebuilt. Max has a really good ear for like song structure and has some cool stuff. And Adrian likes to come over top everything and just like final touches, final tweaks. So it's like everybody has a super important and like a really like. And sometimes it's not always at the same stage, but everybody has like a stage of the writing process that they really like shine in, for sure.
Cool. So as for the first release, was the single recorded and mixed by your boy Max?
Yep. All the stuff over, and this song "No Shape" all was recorded and tracked and mixed by Max, who is. It is super cool to have somebody who's like that good at what he does in this band, and like that's another thing he just brings to the table that like, you know. He sometimes in the moment he's not as confident with the mix, but then he sends it to us. It's like, dude, that sounds rad. Mm-hmm. He's just super talented for sure.
Yeah, it's great to have somebody with that skill set in the group because it's just another layer of like creativity for the band. You know, we really try to do everything ourselves. My wife Kara is a graphic designer and does
shout out.
Yeah, does all of our artwork and like helps with social media and does all this stuff and all that stuff comes from the band. It's not like we don't have anybody do anything outside for us, really. And it's the same thing with the recording. It's like we kind of have control over everything. Everything kind of goes the way we want it to. And it's really fun to be able to do it that way and still be able to put stuff out at what we feel like is a really high level.
Right, yeah, because it goes without saying that, you know, you guys have the DIY mindset, but the quality is not DIY.
Thank you.
Right, and that would be the hope. But, you know, it's a bummer when you have a really talented artist, and you know, myself coming from a production engineering side, like Max is, you know, it's like, wow, you guys are great, and I appreciate the DIY, you know, mentality because that's where we all came from. But like, damn it, like your demos sound like shit, like, or you're not demos, your stuff that's out, you know, sounds like shit. So, you know, holler at Max for the chops on that end. Did you guys go to PreSonus to record?
He tracks his drums there. Like, actually, he tracked his drums for No Shape. And then it was on Good Friday, actually. Nathan was going to track his bass, and then we were going to get the guitars together. But I was off work, and I was like, hey, man, like, can I, like, record my guitars? And then, like, we told Adrian, because sometimes we like to record guitars together just to, like, match sounds and, like, stuff like that. And then Adrian's like, well, dude, I'll drive up from New Orleans, and, like, I'm down to record. And then, like, we put some vocals on it, and pretty much all of it, but, like, some vocals we retracked, we did that day. So it was kind of, like, spontaneous for that. So like, and then Over was recorded in like a cool practice space in Baton Rouge at like the workshop we work at, and then Max does his drums and PreSonus. But it's like really cool that like he can take sounds from like places that are just like somebody's house or like a pretty like gnarly practice space and just make them sound like they're in the same studio that he recorded drums in. You know?
Hell yeah, yeah. So he had like a little mobile rig he set up.
Yeah, we did all the guitars for No Shape in my dining room, which was pretty fun.
Shout out. Yeah,
Shout out to the dining room.
Yeah, it did a good job.
Yeah, before I was lucky enough to have my own spot in New Orleans and to be around the city and a couple other places. You know, like I remember coming up and recording and, you know, a couple records, you know, I did that in the drummer's bedroom, you know, and et cetera, et cetera. And I definitely appreciate anybody who's got the angst to get it like that. And he definitely knows what he's doing. Definitely shout out Max. Killing it, dog.
Yeah, my bass definitely does not sound like it was recorded in a dining room. He did a very good job on that.
So did you guys send it to Rogue Planet Mastering again?
Yeah, Mike did the mastering for this track as well.
Yeah, he's very well known and very big player in the industry. So much to the point that I was looking up more stuff on you guys right before you just came in and realized that you guys had sent it to Rogue Planet, which obviously I run into him a lot just being in the industry. So like I immediately like sent out a quote just now for my own shit and another artist that I'm working on. I'm like, yeah, what's up, man?
See, being the guy that like, I mean, like I like to write, I like to play guitar. the studio is kind of like this like magic. I don't quite understand like when I'm recording. Sometimes I'm like, I didn't get it, man. Let me just like one more time, and Max will be like, no, dude, it's good. Like I got it, and like he'll do that stuff.
Wizardry.
So then like Max brought up Mike, and he's like, dude, this is the guy I really think we should go with, and I'm like, shit, dude, like.
Okay.
I trust you, bro. You're the dude that knows, you know?
Absolutely, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. So before Ryan was in the band, Nathan, you were like doing mostly vocals or?
No, I was just playing bass.
Okay,
The vocals
cool.
have been ever increasing.
Tight. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool deal.
Yeah, actually, when I first started, I was just playing guitar. And then played a really cool house show. And then I was new to the band and kind of also in between bands. So, like, Wonder Kid found me at, like, a really time I really needed something. And then, like, it was getting a little wild, and I, like, bumped onto this piece of furniture, and then Nathan had a very expressive frown at the end. I thought he was going to tell me I broke a piece of furniture. I was out of the band. But then somebody decided that was going to be, like, they didn't really want to do music anymore like that. And then we changed. So
Tight. For the better.
for the better. I mean, I think like the dudes I play with, I love their style. I love how they play. I respect them immensely, and I love making music with them.
Hell yeah. And I mean, you're leaving for tour, and you have a new song out, and a dope record that's been out for a year over is really good, man.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, trying to keep that ball ever rolling, you know.
hell yeah, yeah. So as you mentioned, I mean, you guys are pretty involved with all aspects of your music, but what's really cool about you guys is you're also involved into just the scene in general. We already mentioned Max does a bunch of engineering and producing and on that end of things. He works at PreSonus in Baton Rouge, which, you know, most people who's nerdy enough to know what PreSonus is, just like a, you know, a music company who makes gear, pro audio gear and software and whatnot. But, you know, Nathan, you and Kara are also involved with Rougarou Pedals
Yeah.
and stuff like that. You know, maybe like speak on that for a second. And Ryan?
Yeah, actually Ryan helps us out with that too.
Sick.
So
This
yeah,
Nathan's
team.
the mad scientist who like makes the shit work. Again, kind of like the studio. I don't understand how it works. Like I could drop solder, you know, but like and
Drop
I like
some sod, bro.
I like, you know, he'll work something up and I'll plug it in and we'll like go back and forth. Like he'll play it on bass, I'll play it on guitar. But like, you know, he does that, and then Kara just kills it with the artwork and the general like design of it. She always kills it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to. I mean, we all also work for another pedal company for full-time jobs, which is a company that makes harmonica effects and amps and microphones and stuff. So that's like our full-time gig. I've been doing that for like 10 years.
What company is that?
It's a Lone Wolf Blues company.
Sick.
So doing our own like guitar pedals was super natural. You know, at some point where it's like, hey, I know how to do all this stuff. I could do stuff with the things I do, right? And I don't play harmonica. I don't listen to a lot of blues. So making guitar pedals and bass pedals for, you know, oriented towards rock musicians. And it's cool to be able to craft this stuff because for the most part, Rougarou's existence has coincided with Wonder Kid's existence. So a lot of times it's like, hey, Ryan, what do you need? And then we're like kind of working backwards, like what's the new thing that we need to make? And a lot of that's like based on what Wonder Kid needs at the time, which is kind of fun. And it's just like another like layer of like uniqueness we can bring, you know, essentially to the table for us is that we have even more control over what we're sounding like, you know.
Making the things that make the sound.
Right,
It's
for
pretty
sure.
wild. And like I use right now on my board, which has like probably like 14, 15 pedals deep. I use every pedal we have in production and plus one that Nathan kind of mocked up, and it's like a one of one right now, and it's just in like a sparkle enclosure, no label or anything on it. But like it's really special, you know, like when I hear like No Shape we just recorded, I really like my tone. And like I'm using our Draugr, and then I'm using our bass overdrive to like kind of like give it like girths it up, cuts some treble, but
On
like
guitar?
also, yeah,
Sick.
but also kind of like, I don't know, it's like a bass overdrive. It's a weird pedal, and like I don't know if it's for everybody, but like for me, like I put it after my drives, and it's like a boost, but a dirty boost that like kind of like it's almost on the brink of like a. It's distorted, almost fuzzy, not super, but it's like not like aggressive fuzzy, but like I just really like
Thick.
it. It's thick, and it's like special.
THICC.
Oh, dude, double C's, and like it's like really special to like have a relationship with like a pedal that I'm proud of, not just because like I made it or my friend made it or my friend put some cool graphics on it and also made it, but like it's also that like I make music that's really important to me with it. It's like a tool, and like I love it.
Yeah, were any of the Rougarou pedals on over?
Yeah.
My whole drive section my whole drive section is Rougarou pedals, and I have a reverb that's Rougarou. So like all my dirty sounds, and I never like my amp. I never have like, it's never like just my amp. I usually have either like a light drive or a distortion on, and I always have a compressor on, which is like
Whole set?
yeah, which is like
That's like a math rock meme. Is
Yeah.
that there's some other meme that it comes from, and I'm botching this because I don't know what the main meme is, but it's like something stays on all the time, and like the math rock meme is like compressor stays on whole set.
compressor. It's true, and like I don't even have it like super squashed or anything. Like my compression
Like a
is
little clean
like
boost.
9 o'clock. My volume set to unity, but like man, I play a Jag, and it's just like not a lot of sustain on it. So like there's not a track that I've recorded that hasn't had Rougarou on it.
What amp are you using?
I'm using Electro Harmonics reissue of the Sovtech MiG 50.
Yeah, boy, those are so affordable, and I
They're super
want
cool.
one.
They're great, man.
I think they're still making them. I know
It's
they made
so
500 at first, and they were like $6.99 or something like that, or
I
whatever.
think I got mine used for like $400. Dude.
Yeah, dude,
But-
I want it. Well, I at least need to come or pay attention next time I see you guys play, because I've never got to fuck with one yet, but I've
Yeah.
been wanting to get one for the studio.
It's super good and like good pedal platform. It's clean. Like
It's loud as
that's
shit.
why it's very loud. And you can take off like part of the badge and it can say Electro Harm.
Hell
As
yeah,
it does.
dude.
As it does right now. So it's cool.
Edgelord.
Yeah, for sure. A little bit of subversive electro harm, right? Yeah, I think I had our compressor, the Sasquatch, and our distortion, the Draugr, on all my bass tracks. On
Hell yeah.
over.
Hell yeah. How long
Yeah.
has Rougarou been around for?
Since right around the start of 2017.
And are you doing most of like the, I guess like the circuitry and the?
Yeah. I design all the circuits, and then I get circuit boards made, and then we hand fill the circuit boards. It's pretty as in-house as you can do, besides
Hell yeah, I don't
etching
know-
your own boards.
Is there anybody else that's like the main person that you do this with? I don't know why I thought that there was another guy
No, these
involved.
3 people right here.
Hell
Kara's sitting on this
yeah,
couch
killing
too.
it,
Yeah.
killing it.
Yeah.
Fucking right, man. Awesome. What made you get it? Like, how'd you get into that? I guess you said you worked for that other company
Yeah.
for years. And I guess is that how you picked up on electronics?
Yeah, I have a degree in history and a minor in music, so no engineering or
Yeah.
electronics background besides work experience and
Was
learning
it
on
like
the job.
DIY? Did you do any like DIY, like I guess like builds, like where you got like PCB
Not really.
boards and stuff, or?
Not really before I got into it, because I got into it so young. I got into it when I was 17, so it was right when you would be getting kits and stuff. I was
Yeah.
like actually doing it for a company that existed already.
And they're based out of where?
We're in Hammond.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So
Our fair city.
yeah.
How'd you get involved with that so young?
Is my friend's dad started it and needed help, and I needed a part-time job.
Fucking right.
Yeah, it was just really lucky like that. But as far as getting into it, like I said, I did an interview about Rougarou one time, and I had to tell the guy, I was like, man, I have like a really strange path into this, because I essentially joined like a full-scale commercial production and then worked backwards, like learned
Right.
how to DIY essentially after being in like a full shop.
Yeah, do your own thing though,
Right.
Fucking right. Cool. Where can people find Rougarou?
RougarouPedals.com. I think at Rougarou Pedals on all social media. Yeah.
Sick. Cool. I saw the that like demo video that your homie put out for you guys.
Oh yeah,
Cohen.
Cohen. Yeah,
Shout
Cohen
out.
Harmon did
That
a
was
really
great.
good one.
Umibozu Fuzz, which is that's like probably the newest addition on the board. It's like a really fun pedal. And Cohen really killed it, man. All his demo videos are tight.
Yeah, he did a really good job. I think it's Spiralcaster Plays.
Spiralcaster.
I think is the name of the YouTube channel.
Actually, I think Max mastered that.
Oh yeah, Max.
Yeah, so
Max mastered that audio. So there you go,
Shit.
full circle.
Full circle.
He definitely needs a tag like Max Mastered.
Mastered
something.
by
That's
Max,
a good.
dude.
Get
Yeah.
Kara to like whisper that, and he can drop
Yeah.
that into like watermark his shit with it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hell
for sure.
Make some beats.
That's what's up.
Fuck yeah. All right, this is a little bit random, a little bit of pop culture shit going on,
All right.
and I have my head up my ass constantly just doing this music shit. What's like the Area 51 shit about?
Oh man, I think a lot of people are going to anime run into Area 51.
Naruto run up there, dude.
Yeah, dude, they're gonna do that, and it's gonna be led by a guy I've heard named Kyle. It's gonna be like high off his ass on Monster and Adderall,
like
and he's just
in
gonna
Area
go.
51, and everyone's just gonna try to run through it?
Somebody put a meme out there today. Fuck, I don't even know if I'm really good friends with them. It just popped in my timeline, and it was like, you know, like, man, I've been preparing for this since I was a kid, and it had like a video, not a video, but it had like a picture of like the arcade Area 51, and I'm like, oh shit. And I feel like I was like a sleeper cell that got activated, you know? I was like, oh, fuck, I'm in it now. I have to report to General Kyle and learn the new run, and I'm going to do it.
Yeah, you guys think I'm drinking beer, but all these beer cans are just full of Monster.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
So do you know what is it, though? Like, why is everyone thinks that a bunch of people are going to march on Area 51?
I think it's just a Facebook event that became a meme, right? Like,
okay, cool.
I think that's the gist of it. But
it's like
I
art
mean,
imitating life, imitating satire, imitating art, imitating life.
Right, because we're like to this point in internet culture where you can essentially chaos magic an event into being,
That's
right?
true.
You just like speak.
Holler at
speak
Chaos
it.
Magic.
Yeah, holler at Chaos Magic.
Shout out, dude.
Yeah. Heavily prevalent in Wonder Kid.
Nathan's the one that doesn't believe it and brought it up, dude.
Yeah.
That is Chaos Magic.
Yeah,
Boom, full
yeah,
circle.
fucking right, dude. You will.
Right.
Hey, you willed it. You willed
Yeah,
it
I
into
willed
its
it, yeah.
existence.
Yeah. So it's just like that, man.
Yeah, it's just being willed.
And you know, let's be real. The government has already moved to Area 52. You know, they're gonna storm it, and it's gonna be like Al Capone's fucking like vault. You
Yeah,
know?
I mean,
exactly.
what about the other areas? You know, like
Yeah, dude.
50, 49.
There's
shit.
at least
Bro,
50 other
52,
ones.
dude. Man, yeah, it's like, yeah, go to the older areas, or they just keep moving their shit, and it's just like hollow fucking warehouses.
I've holler at a Real Rock Club. They had posted that post of like everyone thinks that 215,000 people are gonna show up at Area 51, but like your 5 closest friends won't show up to your show.
Right.
Yeah. LOL. Like,
LOL,
yeah,
dude.
that
I
was pretty
saw a
fucking funny.
couple variations on that like today that I thought were all pretty good. Like there was one that was like every local band knows that like 1,000 people interested doesn't mean anything, right?
Hell yeah, definitely. Super true.
Yeah, dude. But shout out to meme culture too.
Hey,
Yeah.
Memes work so well with promoting your own shit that it
Right.
almost depresses me.
It's crazy.
I can, no names, but there's a few motherfuckers out there that have gotten very far through just like memes and shit, you know?
Dude.
And like,
Straight up,
you know, like get it any way you can get it, you know?
get it how you live it.
Get
you
it
know?
how you live it. But, like, damn, you know, it's like, oh, like this person, that person. It's like their whole branding strategy is posting memes.
Yep.
And it works way better than when I post like I'll toil over some content, you know, like, oh, like check out this whatever guys, like, you know, worked super hard on this, and then somebody's like posts like some like fucking spicy boy meme and
Yep.
it just wrecks.
And then it's done, dude.
Yeah, the most social media traction I've ever gotten in my life was a shit posty Pikachu meme about Jazz Fest, and I don't even remember the actual blurb at this point, but it was something to the effect of like Jazz Fest promoters when the 70-plus-year-old performer pulls out of the show, and it was like the you know the like what the fuck Pikachu, and I got like 400 something shares.
There you go, dude.
And I was like, man, I get like 2 shares in the band video.
Bro, like I make shit posting memes all the time. This dude downloads a meme generator. Same week, dude posts this meme, gets like 420 like shares, and I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
Yep, that's how it works.
And then it deletes his meme generator. I'm just kidding. I don't know if he did that or not.
I still have it.
Okay.
The meme gen. All right, so I think I've said the word remissed every single time on the podcast, but I would be remiss if I don't ask you the origin and definition of mopevvave.
Ooh.
Mopevvave. So a lot of people play in bands and a lot of people play music, and you know, inevitably
They do.
you tell somebody, yeah, you play in a band. They're like, okay, man, like, what's the name of your band? And you tell them the name of your band, and they're like, okay, what kind of music do you play? And like, for a long time, I just, it's just rock and roll.
It's a shitty question.
Yeah,
it's
it's
a
like-
cringy question, and the answer you normally give, you're normally not like the way you would explain like what your band sounds like to your other bandmates or yourself, or maybe like your close friend who you nerd out on music to, you'd be like, oh, it's like this, this, and this.
Yeah.
But when like somebody who you don't fuck with or like some random person,
stranger,
like, yeah, you're like, oh, it's rock and roll, man.
It's a surface level question, and so you get a surface level answer with mopevvave, because like you tell them rock and roll, and they, it might be like some Bruce Springsteen shit, or it might be like some bro rock, or whatever it is. But so like we use like, I don't know, we were in the office, which is where we build pedals, one day, and then like one of us said like we were trying to like come up with how to describe it, because we were just like laughing about that question in general, because we're just like we talk all day and like just bullshit. So like and then like said mopevvave, and then like but spell wave with 2 V's.
It's
What
edgy.
I'm saying? Yeah.
It's
So
nice.
it's like that
Aesthetic as fuck.
Yeah, and it and then like I mean it kind of fits, because like there's like a lot of like reverb and delay and like texture, so and like could be wavy, and then like so the lyrics are a bummer. I mean, and they're all like introspective lyrics. They're like
It's some feels. It's
you
the
know,
feels.
yeah,
I feel the
so,
feels
like-
when I listen to your music.
So then we just called it mopevvave, and then talk about memes. We made some memes about it, and then like people got the vibe, and it was really funny. So like that's the genre we classify ourselves as, and but it's like not a very good descriptor. That's what the whole joke about it. You know,
But
what I'm
people
saying?
are like picking up on it though, right?
They are. There's I'm gonna say the group name. There's mopevvave mope posting, which Kara actually made the page, because when we started
Mope posting.
mopevvave
Oh, this is so
mope
good. Yeah.
posting. There's like a little over 100 members in there, and I gotta say the coolest thing about this is like through this page, I've actually legitimately met people in real life that I thought are like super cool. There's like there's like some good mopevvave fam in Lafayette. Shout out
Mopewave fam.
Katie Allen, Will Keller, Josh Campbell, the whole Jessica Day fam, the Lafayette Compass fam. We got some more like New Orleans, like mopevvave fam, and like Dio.
Yeah, it's
Super
homies. I'm
cool.
recording them right now. Stay on the lookout for
Man,
a 4-song EP coming out.
I did not realize my dude Anthony Foreman played drums in
That's
that
the
band.
homie.
And dude, I
He's
used
a
to play.
god.
I
Dude,
used
he's
to.
good.
I live in Hammond. Anthony used to be back from Hammond from back in the day. I used to play music with that motherfucker in another band, dude. So shout out to all
Shout out
those
Anthony,
dudes.
4-man.
And like it's actually like a really super positive group of people that like uplift everybody else, and it's like super cool. Like I don't know, it started.
That's
It started
super
as
not mopey, dude.
it started as a joke, and then like ended up something way more positive than it. And that's like I guess the real irony in it. And really, Kara just started the page just so because like me and her have meme generators on our phone and shit. So we were just like I'll just like shit post like 10 memes. Like I'll create 10 memes and just riff, and then they all just go to. We were joking we make a coffee table book out of it, and then she made the page, and then like other people are like make original content that is like legitimately rad.
Yeah, it's I'm the fun sucker who is always like, man, we have too many memes. Can we like clamp down the memes? And that's the impetus for mopevvave mope posting. Because I was like, can we find a better place to put the memes on like our regular feed? We're like promoting shows and stuff.
Because like it was like you were talking about earlier. Like it's like you can post a meme and then like there's a bunch of likes, but then you post like a video or like a picture of the band, and it's like or the best is like a show poster.
Oh,
and
the
then it's
worst,
like
dude,
everyone
bro.
scrolls so fast, like, ew, ew,
Dude,
gross.
this is
You
not
share an
information I
event.
want.
Share an event, you might as well just throw it in the garbage right there.
And it's like, I don't know, man. It's pretty funny. So that's like, and like, there's other bands that like.
I like it. I mean, I think whenever you say mopewave, though, I can like a sound comes to my
You
head. It's like
can.
actually legit. Like I fucks with it.
It's an absurd joke that has had way more traction than we ever thought, and it actually kind of works.
But
know?
that's,
Yeah.
I mean, that's like, unfortunately, for better or for worse, it's always good to have some kind of like branding thing to
Yeah.
attach to your name and your band.
Absolutely.
And that story you said about it was very uplifting, like it's a positive thing, and it's Nathan can calm down a little bit, so because all the memes are in one place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good all around. And
Yeah.
like there are some bands that like have jokingly like I mean I don't know how serious everybody takes the joke because it's like but like have like called themselves mopewave, and they're bands that like I legitimately love their material, and I look up to them as like creatives, and like it's really cool to play shows with those people, and like I don't know, it's been a positive experience for me overall, I would say.
Hell yeah. Shout out mopevvave.
Shout out
Shout out
mopevvave.
mopevvave. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and like, I don't know, jokes are funny, music's cool.
Yeah, cool.
Combine the two on the internet.
Yeah, definitely. So I guess to speak on mopevvave, what so like on Over and on the new track, what's like some of like the modulation and chorus pedals that you guys are using, because it's a big part of the sound, I feel like.
It like personally with me, especially on Over, there's a couple songs like Waves and Friends where there's this Keeley Supermod workstation that's pretty tight.
Holler at Keeley.
Keeley, dude.
That compressor
Shout out
as
Robert
well.
Keeley, dude.
Yeah.
You're a really cool guy.
A god amongst men.
God amongst men. And you guys have a branded grinder on your website for merch, which is very tight.
Very rad.
Wow.
Yeah, he calls he calls it a pepper grinder, but
Oh, yeah,
if you,
it's
as long as you
definitely
got
for
that heat
oregano.
to put in there, you know what I'm saying?
I often grind my pepper and grinders.
Yeah, but it's like it's a multi-effect pedal, but it's just like there's two banks and you can choose. There's a rotary thing, and there's like on the front it's printed with what the numbers correspond to the effects. Anyway, but there's no digital menu, which I really like. It's easy to set. But bank 1, which has a tap tempo, is a digital delay, and then bank 2, which is on top of it, I set to a vibe. So instead of modulating my guitar signal going into the delay, which is like if you had it in your chain and you put your vibrato pedal and then you go into a delay, that's the sound you'd get. It's like putting the vibrato pedal after the delay, and it makes it like underwater soundy.
Right.
So like guitar nerd shit, yeah, I made it sound underwater by like putting modulation after the delay.
Cool. And that's a Keeley?
It is a Keeley.
Oh,
And then
sick.
a lot of like the sway and modulation also on my shit comes from, I use a modulated analog delay with a deluxe memory boy. And then I have 3 reverbs. If you look at the memes and also hear the sound, that's 3 verb. And the one that
Yeah, dude. The
one
jokes just keep coming.
it's like deeply embedded in that whole page.
Three
but-
verb.
Yeah,
3
3
verb,
verb.
dude.
Dude, Dio
Shout
only
out
used
3
the
verb.
2 verb, dude.
2 verb, dude. It's the next step. You just got to take one more plunge
You one
down.
more.
It's like
Come on,
Inception,
guys.
but with time-based effects.
So what verbs, though?
The
on,
one
bro.
that's almost always on, there's only...
What's the main verb?
It's the main verb because it's kind of amp-like, and actually if you crank it a little bit, you get a subtle modulated shit and like a sway to it.
What it is?
Is the Rougarou Banshee. It's like a
Oh.
splashy spring verb. The only time I actually ever have that shit off is on the new single No Shape at the very end when we're all kind of locked up and rhythmic and like big chordy.
And Matt's like,
No
Max
verbs.
is like,
Yeah, when he's just ripping shit. And there's like some guitar chickas, and it's pretty wild.
I
There's
fuck with
actually no
chickas.
verb. The only time in the whole goddamn set, there's no verb. And then I also have 2 Mr. Black pedals because Jack DeVille is a beast and just makes the coolest reverbs, besides Rougarou, of course.
His are cooler, for sure.
Well, yeah, that's true. I was just, Mr. Black is I have a Supermoon Chrome that I bought from, shout out to my boy Foster, who's a pedal god. And then I have a gold modified Eterna, which is like a shimmery kind of like a upper octave verb.
tight.
All of it's modulated though, so that's
Yeah,
where like
good.
I get. That
Have you
from.
always been like chasing that mopevvave type sound?
Yeah, like once sometimes when you're in the zone and you have like a bunch of verb on and then you hit your delay and you start messing with the feedback and then you're like, oh man, I can control the pitch of this like
Yeah.
oscillating note by moving the delay time and you feel like a time lord.
Yeah.
That's the inception of the whole thing.
Feeling like a time lord.
Yeah, it's a really
Basically.
good feeling.
What are some artists that have been inspiring you guys in this last year since like Over has come out and now you guys have all this new work? What are some things, whether it's been bands or any form of art or I don't know, anything in your life, what has been inspiring you guys to write and do what you do now as opposed, to everything that's been out,
Yeah, I mean, well, for like lyrically, when we've joked, and the same thing for Over, is that like we're all in like good relationships and
Yeah, none of them
super
are about
stable. So like we don't have a single song about girls.
Yeah.
So like lyrically,
you.
all of our
Tight.
stuff is all like more about like
Deep shit.
getting better yourself. Like
Introspective and the crushing.
yeah, like No Shape, you can talk about what that's about, but on Over we have stuff about like mental illness and like losing friends and then like creative endeavors not working and stuff like that. We're not really trying to do, the kind of like younger things, but we do, you know, that's as far as like the lyrics. But I mean, we're always listening to bands like Modest Mouse
I've
and
been in a
like
deep Modest Mouse hole lately, and that's par for the usual.
Fire.
Yeah, I've been listening.
Old Modest Mouse is my shit.
See,
yeah.
I'm always like a later album guy. Like I really love like.
But that's maybe I say that to be edgy, you know.
Well, no, because like my girlfriend is also loves like earlier Modest Mouse, and I really just dove into Everywhere in Their Nasty Parlor Tricks like recently, and like it's one I've listened to casually, but it's my girlfriend's favorite, and dude, she's got very good taste.
There you go.
Shout out Dara Calmes.
Shout out.
Yeah, and we like listen to a lot of like Cursive and just the big thing I think is that and we always try to do is trying to be dynamic a lot. We're not ever really trying to stay static or write songs that are like 10 the entire time. So
Yeah.
I feel like we're influenced by a lot of bands we don't necessarily sound like, but at the same time we're still kind of drawing a lot on the songwriting aspects. So I don't think we sound like Modest Mouse or Cursive, but that's definitely like two really big influences on what we're doing right now.
Also, anything Connor Oberst does. I'm a huge Connor Oberst fanboy. Mystic Valley Band, Bright Eyes, solo stuff. Better Oblivion Community Center. Oh my God, I've been loving that record.
That's that shit.
That's that shit, dude. And honestly, like he's a singer that like this is like the first band I've ever like lead sang in. So it's a singer that kind of like boosts my confidence because it's like, man, his voice isn't perfect, but I really love his voice.
Dude, you have great vocals.
Thank you.
Killing it.
Thank you, man. These guys push me, and Nathan's been singing a lot lately, and it's like, and he's got better pitch than I. So when he's hitting it, I can like base myself off him.
Helps you out a little bit.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome. Nah,
And then
that's great, man. No, I mean, I've been playing in instrumental bands for like the past 3 or 4 years. So to hear, I don't know how you guys are expressing yourselves and the thought behind that and the inspiration, man, that's like very inspiring and almost makes me wish I had an outlet for that, because right now my project Shambles, it's like math rock, which is like my shit. Like I love it. And I mean, it would just get deep on instrumentation and shit, which, I go off my own little deep end on, what that means to me, especially like as a drummer. Like I can go way down on the hole on that and like never learn enough and like always feel like I have to play catch up because drums for that shit is just fucking insane. But like, it's sick. But you guys, like I appreciate bands like you guys because like, okay, like you mentioned, we don't write about like sappy relationship shit, which like I can appreciate because I can like actually like, listen to a little bit more critically and like think about the lyrics a little bit more. And like maybe it is a little bit more, I guess I want to say relatable because like I'm normally not in a relationship, you know what I mean? And like how old are we now, right? So that's really cool though. But also what I was trying to say is you guys are also like very, I guess, instrumentally based, like equal credence goes to the instrumentals, especially in something deemed mopevvave, as most of the vibe is coming from whatever you guys are doing.
This band also writes very differently than any other band I've ever been to, because like usually like I would write the songs in like every other band I've been in and like come over top with everybody would write their own parts and then it'd be cool. But this band doesn't really operate that way. A lot like the times I've brought full skeletons of songs to the band, they get torn down. And it's like as a writer and as somebody that like, I think I'm proud of the stuff I make, and I thought it was good when I brought it there. It's crushing in like the moment, but then like everybody else has these other writing ideas, and then the collaboration that comes out of that I always feel is greater than like the original thing that was brought. And that's what like I really like playing with these guys for, because like everybody has like their own like musical things they like to do, but everybody has great suggestions. And when I write, I try to like be humble enough to be like, okay, we can strip this part back, even though I liked this part.
Yeah, and I think that's like the hallmarks of a great band member and band in general, because I mean, I think we've all been playing music for long enough to think about times where we've been in bands and somebody's way too attached to their own idea, or you're in the studio and the bass player should just let the guitarist play the bass. Not anything to you, Nathan, but that just happens a lot in studio world. Or anything like that, people's egos are just really wrapped up into it. And honestly, it makes sense. Like you said, like, if you come to practice with a song that is very like near and dear to you that you wrote and you're like hype on, and then it just gets like torn down. I mean, that could be hard, but what it gets rebuilt, if you're in a band that you believe in, such as you are, then hopefully it creates something that's better or more, fitting for the band than what it was when you did bring it on. And I mean, you got that idea that you made, like maybe we'll hear a Ryan Church solo record one day. Shout out, what's up?
Oh man, it'll be like some Don Henley shit. It'll be like not as good as the Eagles, but like, yeah, the voice is the same. Yeah,
Hell
dude.
yeah.
But it's just like an incredibly collaborative process.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, yeah, I was talking about lyrics earlier, but just in the instrumentation, it's just everybody kind of has their spots they find. And I think everybody's kind of grown into their spot for this band, and everyone works really well together. And I've been playing music for essentially my entire cognizant life, and I've never been in a group that like worked this well together, and it's really fun.
Yeah, and I think it's a testament to everything you guys have going on. With everything we spoke about on this podcast, which, a lot of it was like, oh, well, what are all these other things that you guys are doing in the music industry? And, it's like every single one of you, Kara included too, it's like you guys are all like part of a team that are invested into the music scene in different avenues, not just like you show up with your bass and you're just like, let's practice. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not just like a band guy who's like just trying to like maybe see if this band works, and then if this band doesn't, then you're like done. Like, this is like, obviously you guys have a lot more power and a lot more, talent behind the whole thing, which, I'm definitely excited to see where you guys go and what happens with this this next push and this release. If it's all as good as the single, which I'm sure it will be, I'm super fucking stoked for it. So,
Dude, thanks.
Yeah, thank you, man.
I think it definitely like I think like the summer grade of the parts, like, I mean, Kara is the fifth member of this band. Like, she'll probably be embarrassed for me saying that right now.
She's here. She's like cringing.
Yeah, but she like when we're in the shop, like we're bouncing ideas about like what the next move is off her all the time. And there's been shit she's suggested like lyrically, like because she likes the band and she'll listen to it, and then like she makes great suggestions. And then like with Max and the recording, like there's so many aspects of this band that like each of the members just bring so much. I love these dudes.
Yeah, I think it's cool to add too that like you were talking about what all of us are doing. I mean, you mentioned Ryan and I building pedals. Max works in the studio. Adrian's a band director.
Yeah,
so
shout out Adrian.
We're
Shout out
actually
Adrian.
all like professional music industry for a living dudes, which is really fun. That like everything we do is related to this stuff, which is a good place to be.
Fucking right. Yeah, no, definitely. And for my own sake, like Adrian plays more like leads.
He is. As far as a guitar player that I've played with several really shout out Benjamin Thomas, shout out Wade Hemel. Wade's much more than a guitar player, but there are some guitar players I've played with that I really love playing with. Adrian, I've never met anybody that like kind of thinks about guitar as texturally as I do that I've been able to play with. And Adrian does that. Like sometimes his chords are huge, and then his like lead is soaring, and then he's just like so
like a
slinky.
bald eagle.
I know, my God, and he wears enough American flag regalia and like shirts and hats that he's definitely a bald eagle.
Yeah, Adrian and I were like way on that ironic American stuff way before the current like
Head of the curve.
Yeah, head of the curve. It was fun. Not as fun now, but
not as fun now.
It was good during the Obama administration.
Yeah, right. And to also talk about like like the scene and stuff, like I would be remiss if I'm gonna borrow your word, my dude, to
Go
not
ahead.
like mention like going to shows in Baton Rouge and shit. Like that was like I think a musical community that like early on really accepted Wonder Kid.
Yeah.
Like the first show that we played where like
Give shout outs, dude. Let's get
Shout outs. Okay. First show we played at in Baton Rouge is like this lineup of Wonder Kid. I believe Nocturnal Broadcast played with us.
Yep.
And that's a band that I've seen like also kind of grow, as we're growing, and like they just put out their summer tapes. Like check that shit out on Bandcamp. Check them out. Like their shit.
They're on tour
They're
right
on tour
now.
right now. They're like a band that like was super supportive early on, and like I I think is making legitimately cool fucking music. Baby in the 90s we're about to go on tour with.
Yeah, who you guys bringing out on tour? I didn't even know.
Mookie and Baby in the 90s, they're kind of like, we said we want to go on tour, and they're like, hey, do we want to go on tour there? And Mookie, this is our first one. Mookie has done some shit like this before and like kind of like teamed up with it. I think Nocturnal and Baby have even done some shit this summer. So it's like, you know, and there's also so many cool fucking bands out there that, and like people in that scene that we're a band that's like based out of Hammond, which is because like we have a drummer from Baton Rouge and a guitar player from New Orleans. We practice in Hammond. There's the Spot. Shout out to the Spot. Shout out to Aaron that we play shows at in Hammond, but like we kind of built in Baton Rouge as well. And like early on, there was like a super cool music community that just keep growing. That I really love those dudes and ladies out there.
Do you feel like the music scene in general is on a little upswing?
I absolutely do. I mean, I'm a little bit older than, I'm a couple years older than Nathan, and I'm the oldest dude in this band. And like I remember being in college and playing some music, and back with, you know, and like there was some cool music out there, but I feel like there's a lot more people doing things now that are actually like really trying, and the product is really good. Like the shows are really good, and the music's really cool, and the people are really cool. I think there's a really good work ethic that's happening right now.
I agree.
And it's really exciting. And at the same time, it like pushes me forward, makes me want to do more, pushes us as a band forward. And isn't it cool seeing your friends do cool shit?
Fucking right. I'll support anybody who's trying to do anything. Just do it.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many cool bands in the whole region, and then just so many cool artists, and everybody's, you know, I feel like every time we go somewhere, we're like making a new friend, doing, you know, meeting new people, and everyone's just, I think the scene as a whole is definitely on the uptick, and I know like from booking tours and stuff like that, like from booking this tour, we are based out of Hammond, right, which is like, if you're from New York, is what, you know, like what is that? It's nothing. And we get bands that like Aaron and I will from the Spot will book in Hammond, and you know they come and they think it's tight. And when I go look in other towns, right, there's like small towns with little DIY venues everywhere, and there's like cool bands. Like there's always been the cool stuff in the cities, but there's cool stuff in between now, and it's really cool. I think the internet is super bad in a lot of ways, but super good in a lot of ways to give a lot of artists a platform. And there's obviously like people that don't need that platform, but giving it to all the people that deserve it is great. And you get to see and hear so much stuff and make connections across vast distances. And like he was talking about friends in Lafayette and stuff like that. And like Lafayette's 2 hours from my house. I'm not casually popping over there, right? You know, we played at Intracoastal Club, which is where we met, and in Homa, and that's
shout out to that taco place.
Yeah, it's a great.
Shout out Tony.
It's rad. It's like an hour and a half away. I would have never known that place existed without that.
Also, shout out Zach Shoup.
Yeah,
Shout out Zach Shoup. All these Homa people, Homa and North Shore. You know,
Dude.
I always talk about that. It seems like I think there's so many artists from Homa, like below I-10 and North Shore, just because there's like not shit going on. Maybe I don't know. It's very strange. Like honestly, the amount of bands, it's a lot.
I wonder if Homa is just
we're-
like Southern Hammond. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, Southern Hammond.
Yeah, dude.
But like, now, you know, it's like we're all older, and whether, you know, you guys are kind of around BR, Baton Rouge, but you know, it's like we're all older, but it's like I've seen everyone from Homa. It's like in New Orleans now, but it's like still these people. Like I was showing you guys like the Mr. She recordings from like the last live
dude.
session. Bangers. Shout out Mr. She. Everyone go look for them.
Oh shit! Yeah, you said that was Homa base.
Yeah, no.
Damn.
So all these people, like, you know, and I just see them coming out of these areas, and I guess it's just a testament to the amount of talent and art that can come out of places you wouldn't expect, you know.
Absolutely.
And I guess maybe, you know, to ask a question I forgot to ask earlier, did you guys book your tour yourselves?
Yeah, we booked it ourselves. I booked half of it, and Mookie from Baby in the 90s booked the other half. We split it down the middle.
Tight. I need to check out Baby in the 90s, dude. I
Dude,
keep hearing
Inertia?
everything about them, and like,
So good.
you know, it's just like when you work on music all day, you just like don't listen to music sometimes.
Feel that.
Absolutely, because like, you know, all my jobs like revolve around music and stuff. But man, if you have 15 minutes,
I
it
do,
is,
dude.
it is
I'm
short.
fucking up, man.
It is fucking sweet. It is Inertia by Baby in the 90s. And dude, like every time I hear that and after like fucking Marriage ends, I'm like, man, just
Play it again?
yeah, just start back over at Lazy Bones.
Damn.
You know
It's
what I'm
like
saying?
that, huh?
It's like that, dude. It's infinitely listenable, and I think Mookie, his voice and his words, just like really mesh. I'm a fan of.
Holler
I'm a
at Baby
fucking
in the
fan.
90s. Shout out.
I keep a spreadsheet with every band I've seen
He does,
starting this
dude.
Do you
year.
really? That's like Henry Rollins.
It's
type
like-
Fuck
shit.
yeah, dude.
Boring, nerdy shit. But I'm on like 130 bands or whatever this year.
Do you spreadsheet every show you play?
Yeah.
And the date?
Yeah.
You are like Henry Rollins.
Yeah.
He does that. He said he did that, and it made me aspire to do that. And I've just been thinking
Bro,
about
the
it for
Wonder
a year
Kid
or
machine
two.
doesn't work without him and his spreadsheets, dude. He keeps all this shit together.
But here's the real question: are they on the cloud on Google Sheets, or are they Excel files on your hard drive?
I'm using Google because that way I can use my phone and my
I was
computer
about to say
and like
you better
bounce
put that
around.
shit on the
yeah.
cloud because that shit gonna be gone pecan one day.
Absolutely. But I color code, so like I see all these bands and like it's not like an indication of
It's
what's
every show he goes
what's
to.
right. And like I see a lot, and most bands I see are fun, so that's whatever. But I like purple the ones that were like special shows. Like one of my absolute favorite bands I got to see at one on Jaxer this year, Murder by Death. That's like one I made purple. I got to see Portrayal of Guilt the beginning of the year.
Shout out.
Yeah, they rip so hard. I saw
wood
them
shop?
at the wood shop in
Yeah.
Baton Rouge, the DIY spot. It was
Do you have
awesome.
a color for butt rock?
What's up?
A color for butt rock? Like what would Nickelback be under?
No, I do the name of the band, the date, the venue, the genre, and where they're from.
Hell yeah.
So I'll sometimes put butt rock in the genre.
No color
But-
code.
Maybe
No, they
brown.
don't get a color.
But actually, for Baby in the 90s show, their release show for Inertia, actually, that was one of my special
purple
ones
ones?
for the year.
The
Yeah.
purple?
Dude,
One of the most
fucking
fun,
banger.
fun local shows I've ever been to in my life. They had New Orleans dudes, Handout, played that show.
Shout out.
Shout out to
And
Handout.
Lucy, some other friends from Baton Rouge. It was one of the most fun shows I've ever been to. That band is
Where was it at?
spectacular. It was at Burger Mansion.
Expansion.
Baton Rouge.
Burger Mansion expansion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, dude, it was a good show.
They have burgers there?
The cat is named Burger.
And it's his mansion.
He'll just roam, and like it's definitely a DIY cat. It does not shy of people.
It's a DIY cat?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like whatever band Burger wants to catch, they'll come inside and just roam, and then go as well.
Shout out Burger.
Yeah, Burger's a good cat.
Shout out Burger. Speaking of cats, shout out Bruce, shout out Maybell, shout out Finn. Those are my babies.
So normally on these casts of the pod, I'm drinking a little brew, and this one goes out to the founder's Green Zebra Goza, and it's a watermelon Goza.
Watermelon
nice.
goes
And, it's pretty good.
I like watermelon. You gave me one of these lime cucumber pieces.
That's the Urban South. That's
Urban
the,
South. This is pretty good.
That's the classic.
That's a very good one. We were drinking Juicifer before that.
Yeah, Gnarly Barley for
Gnarly
the
Barley.
Hammond
Shout out.
rep. Yeah.
Shout out Gnarly
that's
Barley.
from Hammond?
Yep, that's like
Oh,
a
Hammond,
mile and a half
baby.
from my house.
The immense popularity of Juicifer almost made me not fuck with it like an edgy 15-year-old who
Yeah.
won't listen to popular music because it's fucking too mainstream. But Juicifer's that shit, and it's so good and so popular that I'm fucked up by having to realize that it's from Louisiana.
yeah, and it's edgy. You're talking about being edgy, not drinking it. They named their beer Juicifer, which
Dude,
is
you're
tight.
so right.
Juicifer.
Yeah, Southeast
What?
Louisiana
I like
naming
that.
the beer Juicifer.
Dude, in the Bible Belt.
Yeah,
Whoa.
it's a hard
That's-
pitch, and I'm glad they did it because it
I'm
really
glad they
seems to
did
work
too.
for them.
As a man that's not usually an IPA guy and
Same.
usually not a beer guy. Sorry, all you cool beer guys. Juicifer is not bad. I am more of a sours guy though.
You're just not a beer guy.
I'm just not a beer guy. I like whiskey though.
Well, there you go. That'll put some hair on your chest.
That'll put hair on my chest.
Where can people find Wonder Kid?
You can find us on all social media at Wonderkid the Band, and then on Bandcamp is wonderkidtheband.bandcamp.com. We're on Spotify and all the streaming and all that usual stuff. And I think we're on Twitter too. We're Wonderkid Band there because apparently Wonderkid the Band is one character too long.
Hell yeah. So tour, anything in the future? I guess we're just waiting for the next release.
Yep, we've got the single out on Monday, which should be out by the time this airs. Also, if you want to join Mopevvave Mo posting, you can.
Yeah, it's attached to the Facebook page for Wonder Kids. So you just smash join, and I pretty much approve everybody. So
Tight.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, thanks, guys.
Thank you, dude.
We'll do this again sometime. Everyone, go check out Wonder Kid and stick around for their new single.
No shape. Will you say it?
No shape.
I should probably go, 'cause I can't sit still right now. Man, I won't make this weird, I'll just see myself out. A few more drinks, flip the switch, and I'm colorblind in my red flag. I decide to even my keel and try to level out. I'm in no shape to be here. 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 If you can't tell, you soon will. No shame to be here. Can't see straight enough to write on the wall. Systems go, we have liftoff in a bathroom stall. Shit, I feel 10 feet tall. I feel unstoppable. Oh no, the bats are back. I'm making a fool of myself. My foot in my mouth. What the hell am I doing? These people are my friends. No shame to be here. No shame to be here. If you can't tell, you soon will. No shame.